Nightwing 18 opens with Dick Grayson attempting to pay his respects to Damian, who was killed in Batman Incorporated number 8. However, the wound is still too fresh and he is unable to do so. Back at his apartment, he receives a call from Sonia Branch, his contact at the bank and potential love interest. When he meets her for coffee, he apologized for the fiasco at Amusement Mile. The bank lost their investment when the Joker burned the entire project to the ground in Death of the Family. She tells Dick that she is more concerned with how he is doing personally. His repetitive misfortunes seem to be taking a toll on him. Sonia says that he needs to begin to trust others so they can help him deal with his pain. Dick then returns to his apartment to find Batman waiting for him. Batman leads him to an auction run by the dealer, where his father's old circus costume is illegally being sold. Before they go in, Nightwing makes a snide comment about Batman's secret-keeping habit. Offended, Batman swings away, leaving Nightwing to handle the situation himself. Down at the auction, Dick kills the lights as his father's costume comes up for sale. He uses the darkness to begin to take down the bad guys. The dealer does put up a fight though. He sets the entire room ablaze, and the building begins to burn down. As the building begins to collapse, Dick has the opportunity to save his father's costume, but instead saves the lives of some trapped bidders. Doing the right thing helps Dick overcome his grief, and he's finally able to say goodbye to Damian. He leaves the video game that the two were going to play together at his grave. Back at Sonia's apartment, he thanks her for her advice. She then tells him that she has an important secret to tell him. Sonia's father, the murderer of Dick's parents, is still alive. How will Nightwing react to the return of Tony Zuko?
I guess Tony Zuko being alive is really going to give Nightwing a place to take out all his frustration. He's past few story arcs, just so much stuff has happened to him.
Yeah, he's really just been kicked while he was down.
Yeah, and now finding out Tony Zuko's alive, I mean, that's obviously a big deal in his life, and maybe that's going to be worse for him, but in the short term, I think it's going to give him a place to put all his frustration. And I think this new story arc will allow his relationship with Sonia to grow.
I don't think that'll matter. Classic Nightwing, like, he's had like 4 girlfriends since the New 52 started, so she's either going to die, or go to jail, or...
Alright, maybe their relationship isn't going to grow, but their relationship is going to
he's gotta
move
like,
somewhere.
He's got to be like Batman, you know, just have a whole bunch of chicks out there, but never commit to one.
Getting back to his life spiraling downward.
Yeah, I mean, Death of the Family was obviously kind of the first major blow,
Mm-hmm.
and his relationship with Batman has obviously gone downhill.
Yeah, Batman was lying to him. Big deal.
Again, this isn't a problem limited just to Dick Grayson. It, like, affects the whole Bat family.
Within Death of the Family was another big blow to Nightwing, because he'd been working so hard to get Haley Circus back up and running in Gotham, and then Joker comes and just obliterates everything.
Yeah, obliterates this whole revitalization project, burns to the ground, kills a ton of people.
Nightwing loses so much money.
Yeah. And Haley Circus, and everybody's left alive, like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably should have stopped working at Haley Circus a long time ago, considering, you know, all the misfortune.
Yeah.
You know, because they're stealing kids to recruit them to the Court of Owls and not paying...
It's just a part of circus life.
Part of circus life, just high mortality rates.
And honestly, the third big thing to happen in his life recently is Damian's death.
Yeah, which is kind of like the worst kind of third strike to have. Like you said, he was like a brother to him. They're going to play video games together.
We mentioned this in our Batman Incorporated review, how Nightwing and Damian seem to have a very special relationship that isn't exactly there between Damian and Bruce, and it hits Nightwing just as hard as it probably hits Bruce, or maybe more so.
He was saying, like, I wish you would have stayed in the Batcave and hadn't come out and save yourself for the...
He considers him like a brother, and so that's just classic overprotective brother. You know, a bigger brother doesn't want his younger brother to get in the way.
But if you actually think back to the scene where Damian dies, it's actually Dick and Damian going up against the Leviathan, and Leviathan just takes out Dick in one punch. So if anybody failed, it's Nightwing.
Yeah, and maybe that also eats at him, because he talks about, you were there for me, but he wasn't there for him.
Yeah. One scene I really liked in this issue, though, was kind of the auction done by the dealer. Not a very creative villain name, but it was still kind of a cool idea. I'm sure if I were super wealthy and living in Gotham City, I'd want some of that memorabilia.
I wonder how much of the memorabilia is sold on eBay. You know, superheroes always leaving behind things, and I wonder if there's like a huge market for this.
There probably is. There's probably like Booster Gold is probably online selling, like, beer bottles that he signed. That's how he gets by. But moving back to the dealer, I did think it was kind of strange that Batman said, "Oh, hey, the dealer's right here. He's got your dad's costume. Later."
Yeah, peace, I'm out. You deal with this. I'm sure you care about it.
Go get burned
I don't.
in the face.
Yeah, Batman said very little. He was basically like a plot device to allow Dick to get to this point.
Yeah. I did feel a little bit bad for Dick, though, that some of his stuff wasn't going for that much. Like, I really thought, like, the Joker's teeth, for example, sold for, I think, $5,000, which seems so minuscule to me.
I found it interesting that the end result of the auction is just Dick saves the people that were bidding on basically him being torn apart, and the entire building burns down. I didn't really see this entire scenario as being that big of like a criminal thing going on. They're just selling some random things, and the end result is just like a bunch of trouble for Gotham.
I mean, he saved those people's lives, though, and I think that really just shows what a great guy Dick is. Sony even points that out, saying you truly, genuinely care about people. And, his choice between choosing his father's costume and those people exemplifies that.
So as a grade for Nightwing number 18, what would you give it?
I'm going to give this issue a 3.5 out of 5. I felt like it gave a lot of closure to a lot of the things that have been happening in the Bat universe recently. So, 3.5 out of 5.
I'll give it a 3 out of 5. Like you said, it gave closure to some of the big storylines that Nightwing has been going through. But I was not that big of a fan of the artwork.
So thanks for watching B3 Comics review of Nightwing number 18. Before we go, we have a question for you guys.
If you guys could buy one bit of superhero or supervillain memorabilia, what would it be?
Leave your answer below in the comments. Also, reach us on Twitter and Facebook. Thanks!